Joining us now, Lieutenant General V.G. Patankar, the former General Officer Commanding of the 15 Corps, somebody who knows that area very, very closely. Thanks, General Patankar, very much for being with us. In the last 24 hours, there's been a sense which has developed within the Indian Army that the rules of engagement perhaps need to change along the line of actual control. In other words, there will be robust rules of engagement if our soldiers get into a scuffle type situation or what we've seen with the Chinese. Do you believe that this is an imperative step?
Yes, certainly. Before I start, Vishnu, let me. I have a small disclaimer. In that area, and I've visited even the Dawlat Bay Voldi. So I have a fairly good sense of what that terrain looks like and what the degree of difficulty is, what the effect of high altitude is in that area. But I haven't physically served in the Galwan Valley. So What I'm going to say now is more in the generic sense. The second thing I'm going to, second part of the disclaimer is, it would be inappropriate for me to talk about any tactical or even operational at this stage.
Right.
Those are best left to the field commanders, and I'm sure they're doing that as we speak.
Right.
But I will certainly speak about what needs to be done, and I think there are a couple of principles that come to mind. And let me switch to vernacular here.
Yeah.
We have this famous saying called "Saw sonar ki, ek lohar ki." Now, this is exactly the time to apply that idiom to the ground. We have had enough of these pinpricks from the Chinese.
Yep.
And I think it's now time for us to give that blow which counts, and it also should be given at a place where it hurts. That's the first part. The second principle is that I think we should now operate on the principle of acute pressure or even acupuncture, which the Chinese know very well.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to get at is you don't necessarily have to go headlong into the same Galwan Valley, the same pressure points, at the same clash area.
Yeah.
But you can apply pressure elsewhere so as to make them recoil.
Yeah.
That is one way to do it. The other one is, of course, a clear demonstration of will and intent at the point of contact. There should be no let-up. If anything, one can err on the plus side. And I think action is what is required rather than inaction.
General, in terms of our military posture, all along the line of actual control, for 50 odd years, whenever scuffles did take place, they happen every year, as you know, we didn't pull out guns and neither did they, right? But that's changing now. They don't pull out guns, they pull out batons with nails attached to them, and they attack us in this medieval, barbaric kind of conflict. In a situation like this, how does India and our soldiers respond? By taking out our own maces, or do we take out small arms and engage them tactically?
You see, the temptation to take small arms and engaging them is the easier option, but its implications are much deeper and far reaching. We don't have to completely copy them by going with our maces. When you deal with them, you have to give them the taste of their own medicine. If they are trying to indulge in these kind of unconventional systems of causing injury, then so should we. Because and what exactly it would take is a matter of both imagination as well as the local situation.
Right.
But having said that, I do not think that we should do anything that would cause us to take a step back for saying that we use weapons first.
Right.
Okay. But there is a rider here, and the rider is very simple. If you say that the entire rules of engagement have been changed by you, the Chinese, then they no longer apply. So whether we use small arms or any other method, it will be at our own place and our choice of choosing the weapon system.
Right, General, you raise a lot of important points, and I think the essential takeaway for me is that we need to be dictating this at whatever level at our point and at our decision time when we choose to take this forward. Thanks, General. Running out of time very much for speaking to us.